All right, let's kick things off with facts or facts. Looking chic comes at a very steep price.
Yeah.
The fashion industry churns about 100 billion garments every single year.
Wow.
In the U.S., the average consumer tosses more than 81 pounds of clothes a year. According to Beyond Plastic, we create enough textile waste to fill the Mall of America every 6 days. Now, we can change our habits, buy less, buy vintage. But the fashion industry also has to take steps to end the heaps of waste.
Yes, and former Project Runway contestant Kelly Demsey is putting her talent to work, transforming trash into fashion treasures. Kelly, thanks for coming on. We're so excited to talk about this with you because thrifting and upcycling is in your blood. How did you get started doing this?
It is. Thank you for having me. I have been sewing for almost 30 years now. When I was 9 or 10 years old, I used to get picked on for wearing secondhand thrifted clothes because it wasn't trendy and cool like it is now. And I ended up, to overcome the bullying, I learned how to upcycle and I ripped up all my clothes. I came from a creative household. My mom had a craft store in our house, making all sorts of things she found from yard sales and turning them into something beautiful. So I really got into it there, and that's where the passion kicked off.
We're looking at some video from your Instagram account of these purses that you make out of the threads. Cool. How do you make those? Because it looks like it's just like,
and where did the idea come from?
Individual threads that you somehow mat together.
Yeah, so instead of throwing them away, which is just natural habit, it's, you don't need it for the project, I decided to save them all and just really think outside of the box. So I ended up putting them all together in a design and then putting a clear shower curtain over it that I recycled to hold it all in. And then I did stitch lines all around it to sort of match the pattern underneath.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I did not see the shower curtain coming in.
I didn't either. That was definitely from left field there. What else, have you done recently that you can upcycle like this besides the purse? Is that how you're designing all of your stuff now with that in mind?
So I do all different types of things, all different kinds of clothing and bags. But I think bags are really fun because you can wear them with anything. I actually have one right here I just made out of a canvas that I thrifted, a picture of actually Big Ben, and I turned it into a purse.
That's so
and
cool.
Yeah, just trying to use things in every day that we would look at that would normally be trash. Over 90 or almost 90% of everything donated to a thrift store actually ends up in a landfill and doesn't get bought. So, there's plenty to work from. And if you just use your imagination, you can really make something out of nothing.
Super unique. Do you have a favorite item that you have transformed?
I upcycled a sleeping bag into a 5-piece look, which was wild. It had made a jacket, a bag, a hat, a few other things, but it was really fun. Yeah,
and it was warm too. So
I was going to say you could go camping.
Yeah, you used to go camping and lay down on the ground.
Take a nap anywhere.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's good. What about people at home? I do things like I watch your Instagram page. I'm like, oh, I could do that, and then I try to do it, and I can't do it. Do you have any tips for those of us that aren't as artistically inclined?
Yeah, so I'm self-taught. I believe that anybody can do it with the right will to do it and, give yourself time and patience. I also just launched some online courses on my website to a beginning sewing course for anybody that wants to get into sewing and upcycling, because being a self-taught designer myself, I think I can relate to people that also aren't professionally trained and want to just do something good and spice up their closet a little bit.
You mentioned something in the beginning that I didn't want to gloss over, and I kind of think we should go into it a little bit. You mentioned something about being bullied or bullying and then using that to kind of propel you. Can you go into that story a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. As a kid, it's hard, but as an adult, I see everything, as full circle and happens for a reason. And I'm really grateful for that happening for me to, rise above it and teach other people that you don't need all the brand name stuff to be quote unquote cool. And I really try to use my platform to show people that you can use anything and make it something unique. And, that can be cool where you don't have to be, bullied. I really want to break the stigma of people having to buy certain expensive things just to fit in when we're all different and unique. And I think we should all embrace that.
Yeah, and that doesn't give you value. And I'm right with you on that. It should not give a person value. If someone's kind and good, that's really the value we're looking for. Let's talk a little bit more about how you're helping New York create a more sustainable supply chain as well. This is not just for clothes. You're going out from that.
Yeah, so I'm an ambassador for a bill we are looking to pass called the Fashion Act out of New York. It would be the first bill of its kind. Fast fashion, the industry, is now almost second behind oil of biggest pollutants in the world. It is a huge problem. It is the most underregulated industry on the planet. So there needs to be regulations mandated for different brands to, show transparency through their supply chain. And that will, not just out of New York, any business that makes over 100 million a year that does business in New York will have to abide by this law, and their supply chains go to all different countries, and it would be a worldwide change. So we're really trying to be a pioneer and, just mandate regulations that should already be in place.
Do you think, just looking ahead over the next 10 years, we'll see that supply chain change in that industry?
Absolutely. There's a lot of push for it with, they're saying there's going to be more plastic than fish in the ocean by 2050. And a third of all microplastics in the ocean is from fast fashion. So it's something we can no longer ignore, and something I'm very passionate in helping to come to get it done.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all that you're doing, Kelly, across the board.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we loved having you, and I'd love to have her back because
I want to have some of those pieces. I want that sleeping bag thing.
definitely for the camper, we need that sleeping bag thing.